Hello and welcome to Cheese Rolling. Cheese rolling is an excellent art of literature that I recommend we all partake in. Today, we'll be partaking in it. Art, of course, is an expression of the soul. Let's begin. Oh, we're still here. I'm sorry, I thought everyone leaves because they're not a fan of true art. Well then, instead of cheese rolling, how about something more intellectual? I want you to close your eyes. Yes, you. Close your eyes and begin to imagine. I want you to imagine that you are someone's child, a victim of tragedy, of Shakespearean tragedy. And I want you to breathe in and out. In and out. In and out.
Hey, champ. Come have a seat. It's, Panda Express. My favorite. No. Oh my god. Listen. I know I haven't been the best of dads for you. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. Okay. I didn't want you. Okay. Same way you didn't want your mom to get hit by a car. I didn't want to take you in. Listen, man. I loved your mother. Okay. I really do love your mother. But I didn't love you. The reason I stopped seeing your mother is because you were there. Now, listen, I know, whatever, but, like, come on. I want to take you in, and now you're stuck with me. So, I'm gonna lay some ground rules for you. Number one. You got the police dog? Thanks. What did I say? Oh. Now, here's some ground rules. Number one, you're gonna pass the soy sauce to me when I ask you to. Number two, back talking. Okay. Your birthday? When? It was yesterday. Oh. Well, did the judge give you like a prize or something? I have to do that information. Dude, it's everyone's birthdays across the fucking world. You're all special. You're a special day. I don't really give a shit. Okay, stop. Stop crying. Stop crying. Okay. How about this? We're going to go on a little drive. I'm gonna take you in my hatchback. We're going on a little drive. I'm gonna see what's happening. You know, hit the town. It's you and I, two boys, or girl, a father and his child. We're at the town. So finish your green beans. Now, I don't care if you haven't had your fortune cookie yet. Finish your green beans. We're gonna go. Okay? Come on. Come on. Come on. see this today, champ? Clear roads. Yippee! Woohoo! Yippee! Don't give me that look. Yeah. I loved your mother. I loved your mother. I didn't want to divorce her. You just had to get in the way. It's not my fault you're ugly. Get your father's eyes, you know that? Your real father's eyes. I'm not trying to stare into those every time I'm trying to have sex with somebody. Don't look so rash. Your city was turned, what, 13, 14? I can make whatever jokes I want. You ever heard of this wacky character named Neko Arc? So, like, get this. There's like this woman, I don't know what her deal is. Her name's like Arcuid or some bullshit. Apologize for my language. Anyway, the funny part about her is that she's like a cat sometimes. They call her Neko Arc. Because, like, in Japan, they call it like a Neko. You know, like, it's called a Neko. Anyway, so it's Neko Arc, because, like, Arc short for Arcuid. And it's funny, because she's like a little gremlin, you know, like a kid. Where she's like normally a grown woman, she's like a little kid all of a sudden, like a cat, and she's only like meowing and stuff. It's pretty cool. I mean, she also makes this funny sound. I never heard of it. It's called a bit like pretty funny. I know you don't really get my humor based on your silence. One of these days you'll get it. I'll say you'll get it. And until that day comes, you juggle me. Want some water? It wouldn't kill you to, like, say something. Asshole. One of my first memories I've ever had was around when I was 9 months old, or at least in my crib. I remember being in my mom's room, and it was dark, it was black, and I was on the left side of their bed, and I was in my crib, and there was a baby monitor next to me. I remember the light of it, not the baby monitor itself, and I had my blankie, and the darkness of it. I remember hearing my parents' voices from downstairs, and I remember being scared because I was like 9 months old and it was pitch black and I was afraid of the dark. I'm still kind of afraid of the dark, but that's besides the point. One of the second memories I've ever had was after that. After crib age, but before baby monitor ending age, and I was in the corner of my childhood bedroom. I remember the baby monitor, and I was on the floor on a mattress, and there was this big pole thingy in the back corner of my room. Years later, I asked my mom, like, what was that? And at first she was confused, like, she had no idea what I was talking about. And then she realized that was something they had. It was like this coat rack that they got rid of around when I was 2, 3 years old. And she thought it was kind of crazy, I remembered that. But something that I know that, like, this memory did happen was because there was this hanging ornament thingy, like, nailed into the ceiling. And that thing is still there in my childhood bedroom. I just don't really pay attention to it because it's in the ceiling, you know. Anyway, I remember the light from underneath my bedroom door, and I remember being scared again because it was dark and it was just the light of the baby monitor. After that, the next memory I've ever had, was around when I was 3 years old. It was the first day of preschool. I remember being in the parking lot with my mom, and I was holding her hand, and it was afternoon. It was sunny, and I was holding her hand, and I remember being very confused. I didn't really know what school was. It was the first time I didn't have access to my parents, being in the same room with them, being able to call them. And I remember being very scared. Again, they had to rip me from my mom because I just did not want to go to school. I still don't want to go to school, but that's besides the point. I only have 3 more memories of preschool. The first memory was of the quote unquote first friend I guess I made. It was this boy, his name was Dylan, and I don't remember his last name, but I do remember that I think I'm following him on Instagram. Anyway, he and I were like, it was like playtime or something, and I said, "Oh, you like robots? Let's play robots." And it was then in like my preschool head that I thought, this is my first friend. I also remember being asked later in that same year, why don't I play with like a lot of other kids? And I said, because I don't really want any other friends. The second memory I've had of preschool was coloring time. I was given this giraffe to color in, and I colored it red, and I scribbled in without coloring in through the lines. And then I was yelled at by this teacher, I think she was Asian, and she said, "Hey, don't color in the giraffe red and also outside of the lines." It was then that I learned that you don't color in a giraffe red and also outside the lines. I've lived my life in full regret of anything and everything I've ever done. I'll spare the usual story, but I'm just going to mention it here. The girl that I bullied in 6th grade for drawing anime art. I think I've said this before, but I emailed her years later. I think I emailed her freshman year of college, 2 years ago. And I emailed her and I said, "Hey, remember me from middle school? I don't know if you do, blah, 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 blah." I got her Discord and we started talking. And I told her I was sorry for what I did. And she told me she didn't remember any of that and that I was her friend. Point was, I was beating myself up for 8+ years over something that she didn't even notice. The only person that could have forgiven me was myself, but I didn't choose to do that. I'm not a perfect person is the point I'm trying to make here. The only perfect person is Jesus Christ, and I am definitely not Jesus Christ. My preschool self was wrong. I am not God, I am not perfect. If I am a divine consciousness, then I just got born yesterday, because holy shit, I make a lot of mistakes. And I can say all this now, but I am not a perfect person right now either. I make a lot of mistakes. I make unfunny jokes. I say things that are rude, and I might say things that I don't really mean about a person I love. I make a lot of fuck ups. I do that. And that really fucking sucks because I can't need to accept that I'm not perfect. I can't accept that I'm not perfect, and I put myself to the standard where I believe I will be perfect when I cannot be perfect because I'm a human being and not God reincarnated in the body of a 5'2" Asian person. I am in love with the fact that I have to learn all these lessons at a very late age, despite the fact I thought I was quote unquote mature for my age, because I gained sentience early. Yet I have to learn this like basic human lesson. I have to go to therapy for these basic human lessons. But I guess learning is a lot different from like truly, understanding, whatever bullshit I have to say here. Now, in the spirit of cheese rolling, I'm going to speed run The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
In the light of the moon lay a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning the worm Sam came up, and pop out the egg came a tiny, very hungry caterpillar. He started looking for some food. On Monday he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday he ate 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday he ate 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday he ate 5 oranges, he was still hungry. On Saturday he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, the very one slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night he had a stomach ache. Oh, that's familiar, like Matthew. The next day he was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice leaf, and after that he felt better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, he was a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big fat caterpillar. So he built a small house called a cocoon and stayed around himself. He stayed inside for 2 weeks. He was a whole cocoon and pushed it out. Oh, he became a beautiful butterfly. I make these videos not only because I like cheese rolling, but also because I want to make videos that have other stuff in them. It's really funny to me to have some sort of juxtaposition where you have like the funny little bit and then you have something else entirely inside of it. I know for a fact that jokes are supposed to be simple and they're supposed to be easy to understand. Jokes should be a one-liner. It should be playing Flappy Bird for 10 minutes and like this guy sucks at Flappy Bird, whatever, whatever. And I can do those jokes, sure. But I don't want to do that because I like the idea of longer form content. I'm like Jacob Geller. I'm a white guy video essayer, and I'm gonna make a video with 30 million analogies about how orbital lasers are connected to Gears of War and the death of humanity. Jacob Geller, Jacob Geller, Jacob Geller, Jacob Geller, Jacob Geller. Now we're at the end of the video because I had to make up the last time for the footage. I didn't want to say too many things because that'd be like too serious and not funny. Now, wasn't that fun? Imagining how wonderful it is to be bestowed the knowledge of imagination. I'd like to thank you for watching my video. It is an honor to be able to record these videos and have you, my dear viewer, listen. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.